Proverbs 28 and 27 says, "He who gives to the poor will lack nothing, but he who closes his eyes to them receives many curses." And we all know how God looks at us when we look over the poor. Let the church say amen. God bless you. My title says, I think every church need a food pantry. I think every church need a food pantry. Just a real talk video, but before I get started in this video, we have a praise report, and we thank God right now for so much. We have a praise report for our sister Marie. She's doing fine. Thank y'all who was praying. Everything went well. She just sent me a message. Sister, we love you. God brought you through. The surgery is over, my brothers and sisters. So she is doing fine. She says she just have a little pain, but she's giving God the glory for everything that God has done. So sister, we thank you. Thank you for your life. God bless you, and may God continue to take you higher and higher. Y'all noticed these last two videos I've been putting up about the food bank. And it wasn't that long ago, me and Big Brother Mitty Man talked about this. And I called Mitty Man on the phone and asked him, have he been making progress? Because, Mitty Man put up a video. That wasn't the first time he was talking about it. Telling churches, asking churches to please get your food pantry. Start going out, really helping others. It's time to get outside. It's time to get outside of these buildings. And Mitty Man, I'm in so much agreement with you on that. You already know as we talked on the phone. And as the Lord allowed me to wake up, man, you already know my heart. And I've been dealing with a lot of different people lately. And to see so many people struggling, it's sad to look at. And I'm talking about people who's really struggling. I'm not talking about people who call struggling, they don't have nothing, they got something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We got a lot of people talking about they struggling and they really doing all right. They ain't struggling, they just poor stewards, making bad choices with their money. But not to jump off into all that. But I want to say this, Mitty Man, too, to hit with you in your video, to the churches that don't have a food bank. It's a lot of them doing well. God bless them, man. I see a lot down here that's helping the community, helping the poor. But if you can, my brothers and sisters, please get outside of just thinking about the building and start helping others. It's done been too long of all this taking up money and begging. It's some people out here that really need help. It's some folks on your own street need help. It's some people in your own church need help. Some of y'all will catch that in a minute. This is a part of ministry. When you giving to your brothers and sisters, doing stuff for people you don't even know, that is a part of ministry. That is ministry. A lot of people don't understand that. Most people I know think ministry is just going to church on Sunday morning, singing a few songs, and the preacher hooping and hollering, everybody go home. Set the chairs out there, everybody go home. Nobody hardly getting in the chairs, no way. Let me leave that alone. The Bible said that the poor would always be amongst us. And that's why I want to title this video, I believe every church need a food pantry. Y'all saw Willie on camera yesterday. And once again, thank y'all. Everybody who donated to help him get his truck fixed that time. You know who you are. I'm not going to call out names. And he been running ever since. Y'all notice he haven't been doing too bad. Because when y'all blessed him, all of us came together like the church supposed to do. If the church would do what the church needs to do, you wouldn't even need no government. Let me leave that alone. And Willie was just still, from the bottom of his heart, grateful for what y'all have done. I put him on camera for a second on that video, so y'all know who he is and what he do. And when I go by so many churches and see empty vans just sitting up, and I know the churches personally, I know the communities personally, and I know they not doing nothing. It bothers me. It bothers me when people look over the poor. Well, you know what? That could be me. That could be you. How many of y'all have ever lost your home and lost your vehicles, didn't know where you was going to lay your head at, didn't know where your next meal was going to come from? Let me throw up both of my hands. Done been there. Nowhere to go. Sleeping in and out of churches, sleeping on your job, sleeping in your car. That's me. And you wonder why I help people so much, because that still could be me, one of those ones that's out there on the street lost. And see, when my times hit me hard in life, I didn't get mad at God because I already know that these things are promised to us, trials and tribulations. When I got laid off, looked like I lost. I felt like Job, though. I felt like I lost a lot, but really I wasn't losing nothing. God was giving me a major setback for a major come up. Let me move on because y'all got me stirred up now. I'm about ready to preach, but let me stay on subject with this food bank. Every church need a food pantry. Every one of them. It's time to start doing something different. I'm about to make some folks mad because when it comes to talking about the church, people hate the truth. But this is encouragement, really, tough love. You don't like it, oh well. Take it up with God. It's time to get up off your butt and start doing something different. Most churches don't want to get involved that I know, and I know a bunch of them, don't matter where I'm at. Most of these churches don't want to get up off their sorry butt and do nothing because it requires too much work. Ain't doing nothing at all, just going to church. Don't want to get involved because it takes somebody going outside of the church to go get the truck, to go load the truck up. Somebody got to pick up the stuff. Somebody got to be there to pass it out. It's too hot outside. It's too cold outside. We got more excuses than a man going to jail. We got to keep up with the paperwork. We spending too much time over here. We going over there. We don't have time for that, JT. Well, what in the world is the church for? Ooh, what in the world is the church for? It makes my day when I see others being helped. It makes my day when I know that I can give. Somebody have blessed me to be able to be a blessing to somebody else, and we all giving the glory to God because God is the blesser. And we just walking over people. Well, I wish some people could hang with me for a day. Go over some of these old raggedy, jacked up neighborhoods where these children look like they just ain't ate in 4 weeks. Skinny, starving. No haircuts, no clothes to wear, no shoes on their feet, crying because they don't have a loaf of bread in the house, don't have nothing. And we got churches sitting on the same street these same people are struggling on and just looking over them. It's time out. I don't care who get mad. It's time out for playing with the Lord. We don't have time for that, JT. I mean, I told you, like I was just telling my cousin, she just left, my cousin Shantae. God bless you, Shantae, if you're looking at this video. Big shout out to you. I was just telling her about these churches. I'm not going to call names, but they got 3 or 4 vans. Big vans, just sitting up, and they ain't doing nothing with them. And half of them won't even go pick up nobody who want to go to church. And I asked one dude, why y'all don't do nothing with these vans? You ain't gonna do nothing with them. Donate them to somebody like Willie who need them. They said, we ain't got time for all that. Yeah, we got trucks. They look good too, just sitting there. I say, you ain't got time for it, but we got time to keep having all these musicals. Walk with me, saints. We got time to have all these anniversaries. We got time to keep sitting up listening to these preachers that do this, that's begging for money. We got time to do all these revivals and talking about inviting in somebody when the revival ain't even for the lost. It's for the believers. Let me leave that alone. We got time for all these meetings, all this stuff, but when it comes to dealing with the poor, the community, we don't have time for that. Well, what if God don't have time for you no more? We just want to deal with the people on the inside of the church, and half of them in there is full of hell. When the real struggle is going on outside your own doors. How many times do you look over the homeless man on your way to church? So please try doing something different. You do the same thing, you know what you do? You get the same results. When you do the same thing, you get the same results. You know what I liked about Jesus? Jesus never stayed in the same spot. He kept it moving. He went after the lost. Some of us just sitting still. So just my opinion, I believe that every church need to get involved with a food bank and get a food pantry set up. This also give me a chance when I'm doing this to bond with so many people, men and women, who are trying to turn their life around. Some struggling. Some have changed their life, and then some is just, they need help. I'm around them thugs, the gangsters. women who've been running the streets prostituting, the gay man, the drunks, the lesbians. I love every last one of them. My heart goes out to them and God bless them. I love them. That's why I reach out to them. They are some dynamic people when I look at their hearts. Most people won't be around the people that I be around. Lost people trying to come into the knowledge of Christ. This is what we deal with United Universe. We deal with a lot of people. And one thing Willie do, he reach out. He help a lot of people. And what I like about Willie with United Universe, y'all know that's the name of it, he give people hope. And then for those that's in trouble, if you're looking at this video, once again, if you're in Dallas and you're close to me, or if you're not so far away from me, if you need help with your community hours, your community service hours. And let me tell you something about community service hours, because I done it before back in the day. It's people of all ages on it. It ain't just young folks. One woman that I was dealing with, she was, what would she say? She was 50, I think, 55 maybe, doing community service. Some are volunteering, some are doing community service. So if you need hours, hook up with Brother Willie Gibson. He got you on that. And you want to come volunteer and help, load up trucks or whatever Willie needs you to do, he can make that happen for you. He can give you them hours. We be at the North Texas Food Bank. Even at the food bank, the big building, you can go in there and volunteer whoever you with. And what I like about that is the hours. However many hours you work according to what you putting in, then North Texas will hook you up with so much food, depending on your hours. See, it's so many ways to be blessed. You can get all kind of meat and everything. They weigh it and put it in your truck. So a lot of people be asking me, JT, well, what else can I do to help? Well, it's always something we can do. You can always volunteer, whether you on paper or not. Just like when I be out here delivering this food, and I love the ones who get the food and they say, man, what can I do? Because y'all been blessing us so much. We don't have no money, and y'all such a blessing because we don't have no car to get around. That keep us from having to drive to the store. Y'all bring the food to us. I say, hey, come volunteer. So what? You ain't got no money, but you got some time. Let's stop sitting up here worrying about tithing. Well, tithing is the only way you give. No, that's not the only way you can give. You give from right here. You can give your time. I'm not saying don't pay your time. I'm not even going to get involved in them conversations. Y'all already know I done videos about that. I'm saying if you don't have money, so what? You got time. You can move around. So many ways we can help each other. I'm just answering some of y'all questions too. I know a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to talking about non-profit organizations, or if you want to say 501c3. It's pretty much, and we can say that's just like just explain it, American tax exempt non-profit organization. And they pretty much exempt you from some federal income taxes, 501c3. Let me say that a little bit better than that, because a lot of people get mixed up with that. It's a specific section of the IRS tax code that explains the tax exemptions for non-profit businesses. See, 501c3, it includes some of the most common types of non-profits, such as arts organizations, charities. We see churches, education associations. So the IRS, what they do, they require businesses, I should say, to apply for the status and the qualifications. And they are strict, my brothers and sisters, because we got a lot of people out there playing games. They want to see who honest. They want to be fair, but we got a lot of people who just want to do everything dirty. So when it comes to talking about charity, which the Bible stated, which we know is talking about is love, starts at home. Why are we not starting at home? Maybe I'll come back later on and talk a little bit more about the non-profit and the 501c3, however you want to say it, because Troy, you asked me a good question in your email about taxes and dealing with the church, and is all churches non-profit? Don't think that's a stupid question. I do a separate video for that because I'll be too long in this, and I do that video straight talking about that. So with that being said, I believe that every church needs to get a food pantry. Help the ones that you see every day, that you look over every day. So with that being said, Sister Marie, we thank God that you're doing all right once again, and thank you for keeping me posted. May God just continue to bless you, sister, and take you higher and higher. And everybody that's going through something, I know we all going through something, coming out of something, getting ready to go in something. That's life. Deal with it. Hey, it gets tough, but there is somebody on our team that have never lost a battle, and y'all know who I'm talking about. So I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, even though some of y'all got mad at what I just said. But hey, the truth hurt. Jesus got killed for the truth. Let us do what? Learn from yesterday. Let's live for the day, and let's hope and pray for tomorrow. May God bless you. May God keep you. Till the next time. Peace.